Last night I saw myself in reflections from the light. Could not find my own face. Past times I kept on going in spite of the bad times. Now that fire is fading. Pretending time stops again. This light has kept me wide awake at night, and it defies all reason. But I'll change directions. These expectations take it all from me. No more deceptions. I can't go on living a fantasy anymore. I can't go on living a fantasy. I can't go on living a fantasy
All right, good morning. Take care of all that stuff. And yeah, let's see, do I have... well, I wanted to... Did I have... let's command list. Yeah, did my trees survive? Yeah. Okay, so I've got an testing on a Twitch extension below. But it's also that. We'll give you an idea when I'm generally streaming. I'll have to see how things are going when I get back. If I'm still going hard on 1 Hour One Life, but it's still doing pretty good so far. And I haven't even tried the jungle out yet. Alright, so today, I probably have something here that I ran yesterday. Well, I think I also had some graphics I did a while back. So, I forget which, oops, that's just documents. Was it 6 the server I was on a bit? Nope, that was a very small family. No, that was 6 again. Maybe I had some on 2. Yeah, so you get things like this. Where I was only once, and I'd swear this was the life where I killed a griefer. Maybe they were part of a different family that didn't get graphed. I don't know. And then starved because I ran off without eating first. So this lets you kind of get the entire picture of where you are. And I'm more interested in this when I'm like an Eve and wondering how far people got. But this is the project that I've been working on. So when you get huge families like this, and you get multiple lives with big families like this, it will actually fail to graph. And I've also, as you saw, got it all broken out by different servers. So I want to get it set up where I have a single command to process all servers, which, I mean, just a loop. Just a lot of loading. I don't know if there's any way I can streamline that. I mean, probably, only going back a couple of days before the dates we're interested in. Like, most of the time I'm just interested in my past week, so how far is a generation going to go back, really? Yeah, we have to give a little bit more for the... And I might still have the Boots family. This is the 288 generation line. As you can see, it's a small number of people, and since the coloration is by player hash, you can kind of see them trading out and suiciding when they don't get what they want, and kind of trying to maintain a very, very long, very, very thin family line. I imagine this is probably a lot what server 14 looks like right now. I don't know what that family was. I don't remember if I had a... Well, let me see if I had a name in my life last night. So 1 hour... Family trees... All right. My most recent probably wasn't Elder. Did not have a last name. But it was an Eve Sage. So we might, if assuming that they're all Eve Sages, we might be able to track down that on server 14. So as an example. Well, actually, I can find myself on server 14, and that should find at least yesterday's line. So make this 14. It was less than 24 hours ago. I should have a console around here somewhere. Minus ilib. No, yep, not a whole lot of stuff there. So we open that. Okay, so we had a. Oh yeah, this is a couple new eaves that happened. It might even been me a couple times. So yeah, you can kind of see the same colors are probably the same people since it was a relatively small number. Lots of boys and whatnot. And then, oh, actually, yeah, these are all large. So these were my E's when like everyone they said, "Hey, call for players," and then I had a couple of E's attempts before I could actually get in. And then, poor Jackie said, "Hey, can you kill and heal me?" And it's like, "Oops, I can't heal you when I'm holding the bloody knife." So yeah, and then we had the server reset down here. So that was about the end of that line. So this is actually had a little bit of a width here. So they did pretty good, then they thinned back down, and then they had the request for people here, so we had a bunch come out. So anyway, making it a little bit easier to get to these is what I want to work on today. And any other improvements, like it'd be kind of cool if I could get this just to like auto run. And then make it available on the web, although I'd have to implement some sort of player search because the Lineage browser does not correlate to the stuff in the life logs. So there's no real good way for people to say, hey, I've got this character, can you give me the full family tree? And actually, I think I had been making a couple changes to this already. So put that thing in there. That's some other files that were just me messing around. Specified server number. All right, so what we really want to do is turn this into a loop, and then, well, in several places, I wouldn't mind having a progress bar in here either, but so there are 15 official servers. So we have from one. Okay, that's just something I need to check. I think it might. There's a different dot for inclusive. Oh, no, it's IRB. Oh, does Windows still not have the good console feedback? So 1 to 15. Oh, yeah. How about 2A? Okay. Scratch.ruby. I need to print these. Turn that into an array. Oh, I forgot you got this. So actually, I think it is the dot that elides the ending. Yeah. Okay. So it's double dot. Dot each do server, and then that takes over this, and then all of this basically gets indented. So this will be a somewhat slow. All right, so right now we're dumping them all here. I probably want to clean up my my directory a little bit. So let's have and then all of these will end up, these are basically old at this point. And other scripts might want to be modified similarly, but that's just, give me, caps lock. Now what we might need to do is we might need to, do we have a touch? Output dot get, and actually probably cache as well, because I ran into that the other day. I'll sync up the other computer. All right. So that might actually be a very simple one. End. And then, oh, that will probably work, and it's a change. So you already ran this once. But at this point, I'm probably going to want some sort of progress bar on this. I mean, I guess the date sort of makes sense, but I lose track of which server I'm on. Well, I guess I'm just printing that. I could print out the server. Or, what am I even printing here? Oh, this is the loading step, which is lives.loaddir, which is lib, which is, maybe I shouldn't even be printing that much. And the other thing I want to do is I actually want to break it by life. Let me go. Actually, I should be able to do that here. It is the public life log data. Actually, do I have the read? I don't have a README in this yet. That's something else I could probably work on. Oops, notes maybe? No. Okay. Search. I look for this a lot. Lineage data, public access to lifelog data. So that is a thread that unfortunately gets buried. I don't know if it's in the, I haven't looked if it's in the Steam, like links. Official links. Discord. No. It is not. I mean, maybe it's, I mean, here's a bunch of top level links too. Family trees, tech tree. No, it's not. Yeah, it's out there, but not really out there. That's what I'm also using for all of the statistics stuff I was doing. So, man, no, these are still main server lives, I think. Ooh, we had an ID reset. I forget exactly how often it might be once a day, maybe more often. Can we still forward to this? And I could figure it out by looking at the scripts, probably. Although that would actually be cron jobs updated nightly. Yep. 8:30 GMT. By which he probably means UTC. So yeah, they seem to be going commercial, unfortunately. So that's in. Yeah. So actually, where is that? And that should be since I did last night, I think. 2:30. Well, maybe I don't have. Well, no. Because I was playing like late last night. We've already got that stuff in the log, so maybe he's doing it more often. I don't know. I'd swear I just saw Sochikama come out twice. Not that I know of. You've got the lineage browser, but the lineage browser seems to work is that when a player dies, each server, which each is running its own player ID series, so they would have collisions if you use that, goes and says to the lineage server, hey, I needed a lineage ID for this player. So it gets back that, well, I don't know if it gets back the ID and then sends it, or if it just says, here's a player, assign an ID to it. I forget when I looked at that. Yeah, I just saw Sochikama again. I'm wondering if I did something wrong here. Oh, nope, it ended. I guess it's possible it ran multiple times. Oh, you know what I'm doing? Well, no, every loop should be resetting history. Or focus. But I feel like we have a lot of very, very similar sizes here, and that worries me a bit. I don't think I have the viewer running still. So family trees output. Okay, we had one on server 1. This one didn't have the size collision. Okay, so yesterday we had Elite Cell lived for a little bit. Possibly another family over here. Oop, that was a dead end. No, that was 2. Yeah. 2 and 3 are the same, so there's something funny going on how I'm doing this. Oh, you know what? No. Oh, lives needs to be inside of here. That used to be kind of a setup thing. But this is per server right now, and then all the player IDs probably get collided. I would need to do some sort of ID fix up if I'm gonna throw all the lives together. And I still haven't done any ID fix up on like the player ID resets, so that's something else if I want to go really back in history I'd have to deal with. All right, so now I didn't close it yet. If we watch these, we should hopefully see some different sizes coming up here. Okay, 100 kilobytes. No lives on server 3. Yeah, that's looking more reasonable. And most of these, yeah, most of these are going very quick, actually. Okay, so now you can kind of see where we were actually living. All right, so that's a step. We need to... Oh, I thought, I guess they must have changed that behavior. Add output dot get keep. Get status, get add. Iterate all servers for past. It's not even past week right now. So to make this work, when I have lots of lives with big family trees, and you see, I might have multiple lives in a tree. So I would want to get all eaves. How was I setting that up? So we have parent is a player ID or no parent. So we would want to take the set of lives that we got. And do I have an easy way to do... We've got... Is the collection of lives just a... I think I had a life log. Create, initialize... Did I have a collection class? No, it's history. Is that a separate thing? Yes, it is. Merge select, load log, load names. So we have ancestors of target. We have family. That's a single lineage. This is all our family. Or we include that. Lifelog no parent. So we would want a little helper method to pull out eaves. So we would want to go through first equals target. So we've got a local lives. Lives dot, I think it's select in Ruby. A little bit rusty. Where life life dot parent equals life log no parent. So the problem with this is I need... Well, we can take this down to a single server pretty easy. P focus.eaves. Focus is also a history. All right. Oh, and one of the optimizations we can do here for past week is to not load all of the files and actually like translate back to the date. Oop. Parent for integer. Oops. History. Oh, lives is lives a hash? Yep, hash.new. So I think we can do that. And in fact, I could probably, even for testing, just like truncate the list of files to load somewhere. Okay, that seems like a reasonable number of characters. Then the problem here... So yeah, we get the eaves. Family lives.family. I almost... Need to change directions. Because I don't just want one big focus, and then like I have to go recalculate families again. I want to actually find all of the families that we were part of. So focus was before just a big old blob of people. So the trouble with going live's family, it doesn't tell me who the eve of that family is. So what I almost need to do, how did I have this set up? We've got the ancestors, gives me a lineage, which is an array of lives. Of which the last element will be the eve, I believe. So I kind of need... Oh, that'll hit no parent right away and get us to our proper player. So that won't be too bad to recalculate. So I don't want... How about... Well, I mean, that you can just do, oops. Do that. So when we find a life... And we wanted to quickly hack. Is it history that has the load dir? Yeah, so dir dot, it's a dir.for. Each one have an easy way to truncate that list. But that's actually going to have to get complicated if we do date filtering. Oh well. Back to this. So we've got lines. Lines is a hash. So if we match, we want to say lineage equals lives dot ancestors of life. So lines sub lineage dot last dot was it ID equals lives dot family of lineage dot last. So I could almost say this is just Eve, and then this is Eve, because we only care about that in this case. And then, all right, so that's lines. And then we're not going to have a focus. Then we go lines dot each. This is a hash again, so we have the ID and the line. Graph.graph line outputting as it's just an ID. Now I have to go find that player again. Well, that's a history. Do I have a lives key? That should be by ID, right? Eve equals line sub ID. So we would want to do something like so if I ask for a name, does it auto sub the ID? Okay, that works. However, so the one thing that won't work here is if I had multiple lives in a family. But that should be a pretty easy fix. So that's one family. And then we had this one. So I'm probably going to want to stick the date on here. Won't tell me when I lived, but just having an idea of which ones are recent would be useful. So I think the way we deal with this is we check if lines eve.id. I forget if there's a then. Lines eve.id dot merge. Really, we should have that entire life. Oh, you know what? This is that. So then it becomes life.id dot highlight. Oh, no, what? These are objects. Yeah, so that part might actually work. So add that. Handle merging, and then I've forgotten. Oh yeah, focus is done. History. I'm forgetting all of these. This is more of a life log thing. We got coord, parent, no parent, chain. Ooh. I may have not done anything with the timestamp before. Okay, so that's the life log. We got time player hash, life log, birth, death. Yeah, I've not done anything with the timestamp, which we'll also have to figure out how to interpret that. So I guess I'm actually going to put that off for a little bit because that's going to be turned into a bigger project. Okay, so we have something which I guess I should put it back there. I don't want to run that just yet. Appears to actually work. Oh, the other reason we want timestamps so we don't have like duplicate Eve names or anything override each other. Do I need... I did not end up using that Eves. Right? Right. So we rewrite this. For just changed files, yes. Output each line in separate file. All right, so for expediency of testing, I want to see if I can pass a range into this somehow. History. Load dir. So right now it's just dir.for each. Digit 4, digit 2. Cache. And that is to get rid of stacked checkpoint. We either have names or we have log. So if I have timestamps, essentially, oh, wait, we do have access to... Oh, okay, life.time. So we could actually do the tagging. But as I said, expediency of testing says we want to be able to filter this. So we're often getting a from to, which we're then applying on the back end. And we still actually need to micro filter that because we're going to overload a little bit. So I can convert that, man, I converted it to an I to make it equal to that timestamp. So I'm going to have to refresh myself on the time and date stuff a little bit. So API-wise... probably the easiest way to do this. Let's see. I need integers here, arguably. Some sort of time would actually make more sense to pass this, which means I'll have to deal with both versions of it. Let's do history, load dir, and we want a time range with a default value of 2.2 should be close enough. Time.at. Yeah. Time.at 0 to time.now is going to be our default. So then the question becomes, do we attempt to... Yeah, I could convert that to this format, but then I have to be doing comparisons, basically. So I may have to actually parse this into a time, and then I can compare it against a time. So we want to throw out things that don't match that at all. All right, so we're going to get a number. And then we should be able to throw that into something to get... Time zones could be a pain in the butt. All right, so let's throw that out just to end real quick. So our first file, I'm hoping it loads that checkpoint. What's going to next first? So now we actually need to... Well, I was checking too. We could actually... we can do some kind of digit 2. These are going to be our capture groups. Capture that. We have some letters. Actually, would that be word to an underscore? Word can include numbers, but we want to match digit 2 again. Oh, he does do zeros. And then we say date parts. Yep. Statement not reached. Yes, I know. All right, my past week. Oh, we did all the servers. It's fine. Match data. The whole string. Year, month, day. So we do need to get a we haven't seen how it that should be the same as the stat parts, or stat checkpoint. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3. I need I'm guessing this is UTC, so year, month, day. Perfect. Let's print. Hey, Stormy, how's it going? Let's print our time range so we can just make sure that's what we think it is. And then print time.gm, date parts 1, date parts 2, date parts 3. Ooh. All right, so we have a date from, beginning of time to 11/19. But that's at this offset. And we have 3/9 at, So technically, he says he's running this at 8:30. Although, since we already have yesterday's stuff, I'm not sure that's accurate. Actually, we'd probably even have it cached. Unless I didn't. 8:30 of the server's time. Okay, that was probably the initial export or something. This might be when it finished. Oh, these have all... These are still being touched. Maybe because they had living relatives or something? Huh. Yeah, because we've already got Monday. Huh. Not sure I fully understand what's going on there. Yeah, he seems to be updating like back a couple days. But it has already run today. Maybe it's not UTC. Maybe it's actually 8:30 his local time. But this is 8:50 in the server's time, so you'd have to actually see it update to know for sure what your time zone is, I guess. I mean, given that I'm going to be I want to overdo this a little bit. And actually, the last couple days are being sort of, well, it's still be going by this, I think. So we can get the timestamp of that. Addition of times. Time.now. Time dot now. Okay. So actually the arrow characters that are messing up. Oops. IRB. So that seems like it might be seconds. Maybe. Probably. All right, so if we want to go back a couple of days, Maybe I should do that in the time range. This is a load command, so let's say we want to load a few extra days. So now we can say that has to exist, and next unless there's an in range, and I guess we could just fudge the timestamps a little bit. And I'm forgetting what that is. Where is that? Might be core. Range. Cover. Object is between the begin and end of the range, unless time range dot cover. So approx file time equals approx. All right, so now we can go back to my past week. So this, we need to set up this stuff beforehand. So it starts kind of do like initialization variables up here. From to, so this is the weird thing where we get the times. I was using from to down there. To time. And then we'll need to do from equals from time dot to I. To equals to time. So then you want to be from time minus, it's in seconds, 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 24 hours. Say go back 3 days to try and get any, should be pretty reasonable to get any relatives. And to time, can that be a cutoff? That's when, if that was the time of particular life, you might also want to have some extra for descendants. Unexpected identifier. I thought I was checking parentheses. Oh, we have to close the load command. All right, we're in IRB. Haven't put times in output yet. So that's loading much less stuff. So for typical answers, we can get that much faster. Output. I probably need to set something up here. So the only thing is, it was really convenient to load up an entire day and see everybody, but that sometimes had too many nodes and was not able to display. Okay. And this was the server 14 family. Eve Stark. Yeah, okay. Kids lived a little bit. That was a long line. And the unnamed ones, if I put file size, yeah. Might be false starts. These might actually be some of my server 14 ones, which are not nearly as compact. I mean, I might actually, well, I can see some of this just from the file list. So 29 might have something. I think the one after that had something. No, okay, I'm looking at the wrong one. 43. No, 43, 90, 30? Oh, 43109. I'm trying to be a shortcut here. 43109. Aurora. From an unnamed Eve. Got 2 generations. 43245. Another unnamed Eve, but yeah, one of my kids did okay. And that was kind of that. Okay, so that is the quick load for recency checks. So load dir is extended. This applies it. Load only. Specified file date range. All right, so if I keep running this, we're going to keep just accumulating characters. And I could just go through and delete them. But I might want to include, well, for browsing in here, having number of people would help filter out the small ones. So we've got Eve name. Let's see. So Eve name line dot length. We'll see if that's even a thing. And I'm gonna want to do a conversion of Eve dot time, aren't I? That is going to be a time stamp. It would be time.at. Oop, okay, is not. Invalid argument. Oh, maybe the time.at formatting is not good. It's the output call. We need the quote. Oh, no, 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 no. It was not. Okay, let's be Eve dot time dot at Eve dot time. Make sure we see what that is. So there's a line length, and we are printing. Maybe we didn't print anything. We didn't output anything. Yeah, so that's probably colons or something it doesn't like. Oops, wrong window. So cover, I went out of time. Do we have like a sturf time or something? There we go. Percent year. Month of the year, 0 padded, percent %M. Really down to date precision will be enough just to catch recent stuff. Time. Oh, no, this is probably. Oh, this is a method. So we need time dot at eve dot time dot sturf time. It's just a regular string, really. Percent %y. I guess it'll be easier to read that way. Percent %m. Percent %d. All right, so these are all duplicates. Oh, you know what? I probably actually want to reverse this. So it's date first, so I can just kind of browse to recents. Why did you ask yes now? In which case I just want to get rid of all of these. Oh, it must be a shift for confirm. And rearrange this. So, I guess line length will line up a little bit better. Sturf time. Eve dot line dot length. What did we break? Oh, we can bring our, no, there's our opening character. Oh, I got inside, my close there. Line dot length, did I forget? No, it's just on the overflow. Eve dot name. All right, so you can see those 1s and 2s are probably not too interesting. And then you can figure out, oh, it's actually going to sort it by line length. Interesting. All right, so as I run that over different days, it should. Now that's days in UTC. Oh no, actually it's probably going to format it in local, which is probably fine. All right, so pretty much don't need these anymore either. Get commit -m. Format date and line length in output name. All right, so my big goals were multiple servers and big families. Some of that needs to be applied possibly to some other things, although not all of those are published. I did some personal experiments. Yeah, those were mostly tests. So yeah, I may update those a little bit later. But that's done. That's a step. That is, if we just ran that. Well, you do YouTube already, so let's see, my checklist. Well, let's see, actually, yeah, this should be fine. That's my checklist, where I try to get everything that has to be done before going live, and then some other things I can do afterwards, just to kind of, not delay as long. Some of it's specific to my setup. Like I will switch like OBS profiles for changing resolutions, and occasionally turning off restream so I don't do the Stepmania stuff with all the music to YouTube because of copyright strikes. But I also do the resolution changes. Occasionally, if I've left the Twitch dashboard up for a while, it doesn't actually update. That was a while ago. They've redone some stuff since then, so it might be better. So that's why I have to double check. My monitors will turn off if they've been on for like 8 hours or something, so I turn those on. If doing heavy games, turn that on. On OBS, you can see the little just dot at the end of the volume meter, so you can do a bit of a volume check to make sure it's yellow, peaking yellow, before going live, or turning on the volume. 60 FPS at 1080. That's if you're starting out on Twitch, that is likely going to end up with a bitrate that's too high, or you're going to have compression artifacts. When you're starting out, you're not going to be able to get transcoding, so OBS may have told you to do that at 6000 kbps, which will probably cause me, with a not-so-great internet connection, to lag every once in a while and get buffering. Oh, yeah, so they might not have the auto test. For somebody who doesn't have transcoding, I'd probably say 2500 is a good compromise between getting quality and being approachable to most people. Mobile and such may still not be able to watch you. I've definitely had people say that they can't watch without transcoding, and someone who uses that setting. And I'm only able to upload it less than that, so I have to do some frame rate trade-offs. I don't know exactly what settings that gets you. I know I was very happy with the results at 720/30 at 2000 kbps. Yeah, 720p. You might be able to get 60 at that. I'm not sure, because I did 720/30 at 2000. Uh, 2900, yeah, won't be. That's not going to kill my internet connection. But yeah, 2500 is the one that usually gets put around as a good baseline. All right, so we got that. I've got multiple servers. I've got that. All right, so just for kicks, and then since I might actually want to make this almost a separate thing, although it's pretty much the same, just without conditions. That's experimentation, honestly. You can do, if you get your recording settings set up the same, you can do some local tests to see how that looks in the game you're going to be playing. I mean, alternately, you can just start streaming, and if I don't know. Keep an eye. Well, I don't know if Streamlabs has the equivalent of the stats panel. In OBS, there's View Stats, which gives you information on the entire pipeline. So your internet, if you were thinking about doing that, your internet connection is probably fine, so you shouldn't get dropped frames there. I guess if you were trying to encode too much, maybe you would see something that way. If it's too small, you'll probably just see encoding artifacts. Either blurriness or, I don't know, it'll depend on the encoder settings, which I've never gotten into. Exactly how it's going to compensate for if there's too much stuff going on for the bitrate, how it's going to encode that. So that's kind of just an experimentation thing, and maybe you can find some other recommended settings. But yeah, like I said, I was happy at 720/30 at less than 2500, so you might be able to do 60. I don't know how that works out. It might depend a little bit on the game and the screen motion. I mean, like, I might actually be able to do this programming stuff, which is relatively static screens. Yeah, so I know one of the things I was doing stress tests with when I was looking at different settings was Astroneer, which is also a 3D game. Or a 3D kind of, well, that's third person, but you still have some of the same camera swings. And Minecraft is popular enough, there might be some recommended settings for that out there on the internet. But yeah, that is going to be like a first person. You're going to have some high screen motion. So if you really want to do the 60 frames per second, you might have to go higher, and that'll just leave some people out with the lower end connections. But yeah, it ultimately all comes down to experimentation. You know, your system, your internet, and then your viewers have their internet, which might not do the high bit rates. So yeah, I have seen some people with at least a couple hundred follows who have been doing the 6000 kbps. There's probably some people with better internet who come in there and just bounce because they're getting buffering right away. But I mean, there's also lots of people with good internet. So just the whole bandwidth or the bitrate is all just a trade-off. We know inclusivity of people with lower connections versus quality of the stream. And that's a little bit of personal choice. Yes. So I think YouTube does transcoding always. I don't know about the live streams. I know for videos. Twitch, you only get transcoding if they have capacity available. And that goes priority to partners, and then to affiliates, and then to everybody else. So at low times, you might get it, but starting out, you really can't count on it. Even people, who are now, comfortably qualifying for affiliate with, often, well, it varies, but, maybe 30 average viewers don't always have it. So starting out, you are definitely not going to, unless you come out like a really low usage time. All right, I am out of water. I think oh, you know what? I want to do one crazy thing. What if, I guess I could still highlight for, well, let's just make this a separate thing. Because I might actually, I can probably actually raise this up to week now. For this one. Yesterday's lives. Let's see just how bad this is. If we do... we do want to check the... so not going to do that. We're not going to highlight. We're not going to print them all out, because it's going to be a lot. Go ahead and check that. Oh, I guess I can just remove this stuff, huh? How bad would it be You're right, we don't need that. If we just did everybody. I might actually want to put a life length limit on that, actually. But we can see just how bad it is. Oh, you know what? We might get name collisions with that many people. Because I didn't put full timestamps in there. Okay, so it's a lot. Oop, no, not cache. I may have underestimated just how much a lot. Lots of anonymous players. Oh yeah, 1s and 3s. Yeah, for this I might want to do, say you want, we start to get names around 7-ish. Yeah, so I might have to go into further timestamps to avoid collisions doing this kind of crazy thing. So our first selection is if we have to get the that's character to that. So, we have to get the lives for that, which is still gonna be calculation. Oh, you know what? For this, we should really just go back to selecting all Eves in the set. Yeah, because it's everybody on the server. Yeah, so this is a very sloppy way to do it. The nice thing about the sorting, you can go down here and see what the long lives are. And I'm still not printing out server name here. Browning. Oh. Is that possibly one that went off of my range? Yep, reset. Okay, no, it's outputting everything. Yeah, so this is what it would start to look like if I ever did develop something that would just output all this. Then I'd have to add a lookup service to let people find their lives by some condition, by name or name and mother's name, date played, something like that. All right, so the longest lines here are going to sort down this way. Okay, so I don't have anything to highlight me, but I clearly wasn't in this before. Oh, yeah, tests are good. Tests are good. Oh, so we only survived to a single person down here, and then they blew up. Any other big ones? There were actually a couple of big ones. Eve Boss. Ooh, that was a very narrow tree in points. So like they must have had some kind of crisis, and then they did really well for a while, and then they narrowed down again. I wonder if that's like day cycles or food. I was in Eve Stark. Some anonymous Eve had a big family. A little bit of murder. That might have been an IMA something. Yeah, that kind of narrowed down to a single line there. All right, well, there's a bunch of big families. Maybe at some point I'll get around to trying to make a service that can spit all these out. I may have to deal with name collisions for that one. Well, actually, number of members might take care of that. But yeah, we need probably some kind of limit on that one, most likely. Actually, where do we... Yeah, lots of mid-range ones. Yeah, 7 will cut out a lot. 7-ish. To do that, we would need to go back to doing... What did I change? Oh, I started to do that. No. That can be a project for later. Add. Script to output all lines. All right. So that pretty much everything I wanted to do there. So I need to refresh my water, especially because I am going to be changing over. So I always debate whether this is a BRB or an over. If you're here for anything related to 1 Hour 1 Life or for anything programming, I'm done. I will be back to get a little bit of exercise doing Step Mania in a few minutes. So if you want to wait around, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to drop stream for a little bit to change a bunch of settings, and then I'll need a few more minutes to get the pad set up and stuff. But I will be back in a bit, just not doing anything similar to this. Thanks to Nidmix Games, Haskin TV, Game Dev TV, Destructively Phased, Thylos, Catnox, Duggan Leaks, and Ruffalos for hosting me. I don't have anything to recommend right now. This and the next bit will be my last stream for the week. Well, unless I get all of my packing done, I want to take a peek at the jungle, but probably I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm going to be going away to visit family for Thanksgiving. We're supposed to come back on Friday. And then the Planetary National Able Gamers Charity Tournament is on Saturday, which I'll probably be busy preparing in the morning, I imagine. And then running things behind the scene in the afternoon. So that's probably going to take out Saturday. If we're done early enough, I might do something. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm pretty much gone for a week at this point. So see you after Thanksgiving. And bye for unless you want to come back in a few minutes.